Hey, Stampin' friends. It's StampinTammy with a late evening quick update on Celebration and a quick card tutorial. So, Celebration is winding down and it ends on Thursday, the September 30th. So if you had something in mind from the Celebration catalog, now is the time to act. So we'll just go through the catalog real quick like. The Bedazzling 6x6 paper. This paper is already gone. Too late if that's what you wanted. The Darling Penguins. This 12x12 paper is still available. You can get this with a $50 order. It coordinates with the Penguin Place bundle, which is a stamp set, and this Darling punch. I didn't show all of it, but it'll punch out all of these pieces from the paper. The Feels Like Home stamp set, still available. This is a fine a line art detail stamp. Beautiful image. This would be great for watercoloring. I may show that at another date. And then we have the beautifully penned 12x12 designer series paper. This is also free with a $50 order, and it coordinates with the hand penned petals bundle. This is black and white images, florally prints on one side, and other kind of a gray black tone stripes, and great for backgrounds. And then the Peaceful Prints. This Christmas paper is still available. It's 12x12. Look at all these great colors and designs. So much fun, so easy to make Christmas cards, free with a $50 purchase. The Counting Sheep stamp set still available, free with $50 purchase. And then the dies that go with the sheep, free with a $50 purchase. Textures and Frames. This is a fun stamp set. It looks, a lot of people have a difficult time looking at it and figuring out what they're going to do with it, but you can do all kinds of fun designs. This card right here is made with using this stamp in the different colors. Isn't that darling? And then the Summer Shadows dies. These dies coordinate with the Shaded Summer stamp set from the annual catalog. However, they stand alone very well all by themselves. There's tons of ideas out on the internet. In fact, Tammy White did a video here within the last couple of weeks featuring these without the stamp set. Very versatile. And then here is the Delicate Dahlias stamp set. It's free with a $100 purchase. Beautiful image. We're going to use this tonight. And then the free host gift, In Your Words. Great sentiments. Tons of wonderful sentiments for almost any occasion. That is a free host set with a $300 qualifying order. So you can, if you had a $300 order yourself, you could get it. If you gathered up some friends and placed an order, you could get it. This is an exclusive host set, only available while Celebration is happening. So through Thursday of this week. Okay, so that's your update on Celebration. There's still plenty of products. The only thing that's sold out currently is the Bedazzling 6x6 paper. Okay, so let's get moving on our stamp, on our card here. I'm going to use the Delicate Dahlias. This is the Celebration free stamp set. You can only get it through Celebration. It is not orderable outside of this promotion, and it is, you can't buy it. You have to earn it. Okay, so I'm going to grab my paper here. So we're going to start with a thick Whisper White card base. I like the thick Whisper White for card bases versus the regular Whisper White. It just gives it, it's just a more sturdy paper and really gives it some substance. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And then, gosh, I don't have all of my measurements in front of me here, so I'm going to put all of my measurements on my blog post. I've taken another piece of regular Whisper White, and I've run it through the Timber 3D embossing folder. This is my first time using it, and I love all of this kind of thing, you know, wood texture. It's just, you know, my background. I'm the daughter of a retired contractor. When I was a very young child, he worked in a plywood mill. My uncle, my grandfather all worked in plywood mill. So we've been around wood all of my life. And then I married a logger. So this really speaks to me. I love this texture and the beauty of the grain. So then we're going to do some layering. I've got a 3 by 3 piece of Granny Apple Green, a 2 7/8 by 2 7/8 layer of black, and then a 2 and well, I'm drawing a blank on this one, of the Whisper White that we're going to stamp on. Like I said, I'll have all of my measurements on my blog post, and that will be up tomorrow. And just a little side note, it's kind of a big side note, I have started a YouTube account, and I will be uploading videos to YouTube. It is Tammy Stoffel, and then hyphen StampinTammy is the name to look for. And if you would be so kind as to go over to YouTube and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to get out one of our stamps. And a leaf. And we're going to go for, let's see here. We're going to start with the flower, and we're going to mount this leaf. And I have found that it is easiest to mount these photopolymer stamps by putting them on your surface and then adding the block to the stamp, rather than trying to put the stamp on the block. Because they are very pliable, it's easy to distort the placement of your stamp. So that's just a tip for you. Okay, so we're going to start with polished pink. I'm going to move this piece off first, because we're going to ink up our stamp, and then I'm going to stamp directly onto the grid paper just to see what kind of an image we get. Sorry about that, I turned my light off. Okay, so as you can see here, the image is a little bit kind of muddy looking. Not dirty, but just thick. So I'm going to push some of that ink out of the way. And I'm just taking my bone folder and pushing it. Okay. With these distinctive stamps, it really is best to use less ink. Oh, much better. Okay. Alrighty, there we go. We'll start with that. I'm going to clean my bone folder off and my stamp. The bone folder cleans off very nicely. I usually have a spoon in here, but plastic spoon that I use to displace my ink, but I don't know what I've done with it. So we'll just clean that stamp real quick, and then we'll move on to our leaves. So the leaves, we're going to use Granny Apple Green ink, and okay. All right, so just like so, just add a few little leaf sprigs. I'm a little quiet tonight, sorry about that, guys. It's getting late and I was getting tired, but I told you I was coming, so here I am. Okay. We're going to close that Granny Apple Green up real quick, and we're going to clean that stamp. And then we'll layer up our card here, and see what else we need to do. So, isn't that image just beautiful? I mean, how simple is that? And that is that Delicate Dahlias beautiful image right here. It's a two-step stamp. You can make more outline here. You can fill it in, fill your color in here. The same with this beautiful big dahlia image. We have a dahlia farm, Jamie's Dahlias. That's right down the road from us. And you know, what a gift. I see it on my drive to and from home every day. You can see the fields adjacent to the road. Jamie she takes the spent blooms And she's been putting them on kind of the hillside, just above the ditch that runs alongside the road. So when you drive by, you've got this beautiful sea of color. It is just phenomenal. So if you are ever in the area of Washougal, Washington, which is just outside of Vancouver, Portland, Oregon, and it's this time of year, check out Jamie's Dahlias. Fun place, great family, small family farm. And she grows the most beautiful dahlias. She also sells tubers. I don't know if she ships tubers. She might. So we're just adding plenty of glue here because this is a textured piece of cardstock. You want to make sure that you have enough adhesive to get into the grooves and still leave some to layer and stick to the card base. Okay. There we go. All right, so then we're going to put and if you ever get little ridges from when you cut, oftentimes it's one of two things. So either you need a new blade, or in my case, I tend to push too hard on the cutting blade. You can just run the edge of your bone folder right over the edges and it'll smooth it right out. Okay. So let's add our little black layer here. And we are close to being done, you guys, which is good. It's getting awfully close to my bedtime, and I know it's really late for you East Coasters, but this is the West Coast, and it's just a little bit after 8 p.m. here. And then we're going to layer this piece that we've stamped right on top of that black, just to give it a little hint of color, and the black will really help to make your images, your stamped images pop. Okay. The advantage that I find for the multi-purpose liquid glue is it gives you a little bit of wiggle room when you're putting it down on your surface. That's why it's my go-to. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to pop this up on dimensionals, provided I know what I did with my dimensionals. Oh, right here. Here we go. So we're going to put dimensionals in all four corners. And then I like to put a couple dimensionals across the center so that it doesn't have the opportunity to sag in the middle. When you are making cards to mail, be very careful not to put too many layers. Anything that is, it needs to be at least or less than 1/4 of an inch thick, or the post office will charge extra, because anything more than 1/4 of an inch will get stuck in their automated sorting system, and if it needs to be hand canceled, they charge you for it. Okay. So this we're going to put up towards the top. Okay. And then for our piece that we're going to do our sentiment on, we're going to use the double oval punch. And I want the, I want black for the scallop. And then I need a white piece to stamp on. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment first, and then we'll line up. Looks like it's got a little something on it. We'll flip it over, and we'll line up our sentiment. Let's see. We're going to use okay, so if you have a sentiment and you're not sure if it's going to fit the way you want it to, and it will not. So I was thinking about using the You Inspire Me. That's not going to fit in this oval, but you can take your stamp and you can hold it and see if it works. Okay. This is Thank You Kindly, and that will fit in there quite nicely. So let's go ahead and do this as a thank you card. We can always use thank you cards. And we'll set that off to the side. And again, what I'm doing here is I'm setting my sentiment on the surface and then taking my stamp block to the stamp itself. Okay, I think we're going to use Granny Apple Green for the sentiment. So let's ink that up and let's stamp it first to make sure we get a good image. Okay, I like that. I'll stamp it here. Close up that ink pad. Don't stick your fingers in it, Tammy. And then we're going to pop this out. Okay. And we are almost done, you guys. Again, in the description of the video, I will put the name to look for on YouTube. And like I said, I do appreciate it if you would like my videos and subscribe over on YouTube, and then always interact with my videos here on Facebook. Likes are great, sharing is wonderful, comments on the video thread really help a lot, just to get the word out there, and help me to connect with other people that love paper crafting. Okay, so we are going to pop that up on a dimensionals. Just like so. And there you have it. We can add a little bling. Let's see. I think I'm going to use the opal rounds. I'll put one there. One here. And there you have it. Such a simple card to put together. So pretty. Again, that is the Delicate Dahlias stamp set. It is free with a $100 order through September 30th. You can go to my online store and order any and all of the supplies that I've shown here tonight. And I hope you guys have a good night. So tomorrow evening I'll be coming on at 7 p.m. for my regular Wednesday evening crafting. And I don't know what we're going to do yet. We'll have to figure that out. Hope you guys have a good night, and thank you again for watching.